afternoon, everybody. Jim Fleeler, Vice President of Sales for Charlotte Products. Welcome to our webinar series. Today is Wednesday, August the 11th of 2021. Summer continues to roll through and it's extremely humid today, which actually has an impact on facility cleanliness as well. So speaking of that, today we're going to talk about important tips for any type of facility that is going to reopen very soon, or maybe perhaps is open to a certain degree right now, with some good tips for you to really look at the things that will help you impress your customers and keep them coming back time and time again there that perhaps you maybe wouldn't think of usually there. And then also at the end, we've got a brand new Charlotte Products Training Center. We're going to give you a sneak peek into that with a short 3-minute video on that to give you a little bit different perspective as we move along. With that being said, let's get right into our content here today. Our goal at Charlotte is obviously to educate public facilities on how to best safely reopen their facilities and improve public health. That's really what it's about. Industry knowledge transfer, health and safety, employee wellness, taking all of the sustainability attributes in and things like that. That's really our goal, is to help you. And we're very approachable on knowledge. So if you need knowledge of any particular level of I guess I would say any level of, stress or level of the risk involved in things, I mean, reach out to us there because we'll be able to help you. Okay. So reopening your facilities, regardless of the occupancy allowance. And we know some places are allowed to open a little bit more. Some are restricted to 25%. Some may have a little more, a little less, whatever it may be. So keep this in mind. This is really for anybody that's allowed any particular level of occupancy or percentage. You know, just unlocking the doors after you've been closed and turning on the lights and turning on the deep fryers and things is really not acceptable or safe enough anymore. There's some checks and balances that you need to go through, and we'll talk about that as we go through today's program. There's a multitude of changes that are required, and that's a good thing for us because really the importance of cleanliness and the focus on that will increase and rise the importance of our, really the business that we're in, without question. There's going to be social distancing rules, mask rules. There's fewer tables. If you're a restaurant, there's fewer rooms available. If you're in fact a hotel or motel or whatever, there's fewer employees. There's less people allowed inside. There's the switch and the adapting to curbside pickup, cashless transitions. There's different merchandise return policies, minimum public cash flow. I mean, just take this, some of the older generation do not have a debit card or an ATM card and things, and you've got to be really, patient with people that aren't there yet, okay, and things like that. So there's lots of rules that you really need to comply with. The government has hired many new inspectors across our planet today, okay, that are there to enforce safer facilities. Is that a bad thing? No, not in our opinion. That's actually a good thing because really the seriousness that COVID has brought to the forefront, I mean, we need to learn to deal with that in a safer manner. And then what's next after COVID, who knows, right? We all need to change. We all need to adapt to different business models and things and our social lives and things like that. So, I mean, this is not new news. It's all really good stuff for us all in general. So once you do open, no matter what the capacity is, how do you convince customers to come back? You will have a heightened awareness and armchair critics on your facility, judging the cleanliness, judging the odor, judging the look, the brightness, the quality of food, the quality of bedding, the quality of merchandise, whatever it may be. And you really only have one shot at that service and sanitation excellence, okay? That's really the root of today's session, is how do we ensure you've got that sanitation excellence? Because one bad experience, and I can tell you personally, I've been in 3 restaurants in the last 18 months. The last restaurant I went to had the same old procedures from pre-COVID, that they had a food service sanitizer, they had a cloth that had been on probably 8 tables before it came to our table. They didn't respect the 60-second dwell time, and that is a fail. Would I go back to that particular restaurant? No, I would not. So really, you have one shot at sanitation excellence, okay? Assurance that the facility is safe, okay? Your employees are safe, your maintenance teams, that make sure they're using the proper products and the proper processes. And really, I would recommend that you adapt to validation and precision cleaning and visual as well, but really proving that you've cleaned and sanitized and really disinfected these surfaces, okay? Tell the public what you're doing. Show them SOPs. Show them checklists that you've done it in a timely manner and things like that, okay? There's going to be continuous updates on cleaning standards that ensure that the facility stays safe and healthy. Odor control. If you've got any kind of foul odor in a building or something that's unpleasant, people will judge you and they may not come back. You want to have a clean and fresh atmosphere. That is absolutely paramount. And make it easy for your customers to see what you've done. To wash their hands, good quality soap, okay, good quality towel and tissues and things like that, good quality disinfectants that really, do the job and leave sparkling images behind. So how do you convince them to come back? Any combination of these and also more. So now we'll get to some facility tips here where we really want to bring to your attention some areas to address that can have sensitivities to whether your customer comes back or not. So the first thing that comes to mind is carpeting. We call it soft flooring in our industry as well. And this takes into account restaurants. It takes into account retail stores. It takes into account long-term care facilities, hotels, motels, all of those kinds of specific areas, banquet halls and things like that. And generally, our big concern with carpeting is unsightly stains, okay? Well, we're beyond unsightly stains here today, okay? Anything that has the substrate of carpeting, which is very absorbent materials, by the way, whether it's the backing or whether it's the fibers or whatever, and you've got buildings that haven't been in high use, you have buildings where the HVAC hasn't generally been working as much as it normally does, you have summer conditions, high humidity, you've got areas that harbor soils, that harbor chemical residual, harbor moisture. Moisture creates mold. Moisture creates mildew. Food stuff and mold and mildew and moisture create bacteria and viruses and bugs and extreme foul odors, okay? So what we've done is we want to bring it to your attention, but we've got a YouTube video on here that you click on, and it's on our website as well, by the way, that shows you the proper deep extraction process, including the extra step of sanitizing, particularly if you've got these issues, could have these issues, or you're in where sensitive employees are with strong odors and residual left in carpets and things like that. So one very good area. The other thing too is what type of extraction equipment do you have? Is it time to renew it? And if you don't have the capital budget, you can also rent. Many of our distributors across the world here have rental services and things like that. So carpeting, soft flooring, an area that you can't take lightly, you certainly should address that without question. The next area is 3-bay dishwashing programs. This is really found in banquet halls and restaurants in the back of the house and things like that. Anywhere, ghost kitchens perhaps, things like, well, I know it's in ghost kitchens, but this is really, how do you do the dishes? How do you make sure they're rinsed? How do you make sure they're sanitized properly? In our new training center, which you'll see at the end, that's an actual picture on the screen of our complete professional setup of how to do dishes and glassware and cutlery and things in a 3-bay sink system. You've got more inspectors, government inspectors out there now. You've got to have validation that your sanitizer is really the correct ppm. That's parts per million. Generally, it's about 200 to 250 parts per million in dishware and things like that. But this video will go through how to do it absolutely right. So if the health inspector comes in, you are covered, okay? When your customers come in, you've got to lower the risk of cross-contamination, but they want clean, sparkling, streak-free cutlery, glasses, and dishware. If you actually give them anything of the sort, they will not probably come back. So keep in mind, this is a very easy, economical way to actually do that. The YouTube video is attached, okay? If you go to the next one here, okay? Drains and grease trap issues, right? Drains in buildings, they've been dormant. They certainly haven't been used near as much, so you can actually, water flowing generally rinses some of the contaminants and the large debris out. Well, you haven't been running water in these, so they can actually clog, block, coagulate, whatever terminology you want to use. Grease actually solidifies over a short period of time. So drains and grease traps are a serious issue. We have all of your programs, including one at the end, which is our Drain CL. That's a powdered product where you take a cap, pour it in as if it was like laundry detergent, a powder, pour it down a drain, add a touch of water. That will clean and sanitize and keep flowing. Drains, urinals, bowls, sinks, all of those types of things. It actually kills bugs and fruit flies, mold and mildew, extreme foul odors. I mean, you're eliminating and lowering the risk of potential flooding with those blocked drains and grease traps, you know, bacteria and viruses, and lowering the risk of cross-contamination. Very inexpensive way, an area, if you've ever had a grease trap plug solid or back, you're really, you're closing your food service facility down, as a matter of fact, because you're really in, you could be in as much as 6 inches of water or something like that. So specific areas, your enzymes, your automated dispensers, we have all of that as well. Okay, the next one that we have here is equipment care. Auto scrubbers, carpet extractors, wet vacuums, anything that actually picks up as far as custodial equipment care, they've been sitting idle. Okay, the recovery tanks perhaps are probably still closed. We didn't rinse them out. We didn't disinfect them. Okay, moisture buildup is there, extremely foul odors, mold and mildew. You're going to transfer that foul odor through the whole facility, whether it's a bucket, whether it's a carpet extractor, wet vac, or an auto scrubber. We want to stop the growth of bacteria and viruses. We want to kill and address that, and we want to stop the cross-contamination and the spread. We've got a very short equipment care video here attached that will, in 2 or 3, 4 minutes, whatever the length is, it will walk through the importance of cleaning it out, showing you an actual auto scrubber, showing you the proper way to actually flush it and disinfect it. Okay, that's an area that needs to be addressed. And it'll also prolong the life of your equipment as a general rule. Okay, dilution control dispensers. All throughout your facility, just not the main ones, because if you're a school, a college, a university, a healthcare facility, you're going to find dispensers that maybe perhaps weren't the high volume ones to begin with. So I'm saying all facility dispensers you need to really address. You want to make sure that you've got enough concentrate, the concentrate in stock, okay, to make sure that you're ready to start up, and particularly when you go back to 100% capacity and use of a facility. You want to test the wet operation of these dispensers. O-rings and seals will dry out if they haven't been used. Let's make sure we're not creating any employee wellness problems with splash or leaking and things like that. Okay, you want to address any leaks that are there. You want to inspect the clean water inlet filters and the screens. And that's similar if you have a kitchen sink or bathroom sink and you've got the aerating nozzle on the end. If you take that off, if you're in hard water situations, you'll know how those clogs will affect the operation of it with splashing, with leaking, with poor water flow and things like that. So they're very easy to actually clean out. You know, you want to make sure you've got regulatory compliance in order. You want to make sure that you've got your secondary labels on hand, color-coded wall charts. At Charlotte, we have all of these things that are available, and you can view those all on the website. And your locking mechanisms. Make sure that if you're in a school that the younger generation, the younger people don't have access to some of those concentrate chemicals. So what have you got for education? We've got a YouTube video here that really talks about cleaning and the dispenser filter and flow stabilizer valve in here very, very easily, probably in about 2 or 3 minutes, as a matter of fact. So inspect those things. And generally people don't think of those things, okay? Restroom and washroom care, really a visitor's main judgment area without doubt. Let's call a spade a spade. The washroom will generate the public perception, and they'll make a decision whether your facility is clean or not, whether they come back or not, or whether they leave early. Okay, it is probably your most critical area, right? They've been used less. You've got reduced cleaning programs in there because they've been used less. You've got air circulation that's lower because washrooms that aren't being used, the doors are closed, windows are closed, vents are closed, all of those types of things. The lower air circulation, the more odors that you'll generally have in there, right? HVAC systems have been off, right? Particularly now, right in the heat of summer. I mean, if you've got hot, humid conditions, it'll amplify that. You've got foul odors, you've got mold and mildew, because anywhere there's moisture and humidity and lack of air circulation, you will automatically get that. Is mold and mildew safe for us? Absolutely not. You'll have grouting issues in flooring and walls, okay, where that black mold and mildew is growing there. If you're a shower, a change room, a shower room, whatever it may be, you need to disinfect all of your fixtures and your surfaces and things like that, and really pay attention to those high contact transfer points. If you look on the right hand side of the screen, we've got a short video that really shows, and this is one of our webinar series, how to deep clean and deep foam clean vertical surfaces and horizontal surfaces in these exact types of facilities, okay? We've also got our OptiSolve digital imaging program, which is brand new, which really makes the invisible visible and shows you visually those hot spots that you need to address to lower the risk of an outbreak. If you haven't looked at OptiSolve, look at that. And then the third thing that's on here is our brand new heavy duty grout restore cleaner, our Enviro Solutions ES52. If you're looking for a grout cleaner that works just like they say on TV, only you know on TV you get it home and it doesn't work as well, this one here truly works, okay? It's very viscous. It cleans the vertical surfaces very well. It's got a little bit of a smell of bleach, okay? So just be aware of that. But if you're looking for the product that basically spray, a little dwell time, a little scrub, and a rinse, and you're looking to clean ceramic, and you're looking to clean stainless steel, and you're looking to eliminate mold and mildew and get rid of odors, that's the product for you. So areas, cleaning grout and tile and things is very difficult, and it's not a nice job. Let's give you the product that actually allows you to be more successful and do it right the first time, without doubt. Okay, so the next one here that I've got, okay, doesn't seem to be moving my screen. Okay, is hand hygiene. Sorry about that little technical difficulty there. Hand hygiene, towel, and tissue. Getting the public back in your facilities, they want to have a great experience. You know, now's the time to revisit your hand hygiene programs, your towel, your tissue programs, your dryers. If you have electronic dryers, do they actually work? Have you checked them? Have you cleaned them? Have you disinfected them? All of the contact points. Have you cleaned filters if they have them? These are things that you need to look at, right? You have to look, make sure you've got ample inventory of all of these things. You need to validate that the dispenser operates, right? You need to make sure from a social responsibility and human resource responsibility, you've got all of the posters that show compliance and washing your hands and how to wash your hands and things like that, and make sure that all the locking mechanisms are working. Okay, now is the time. And I wanted to give you a little sneak peek here. You know, Charlotte, we're about to launch our unbelievable hand hygiene program here later this year. Stay tuned for that, but we are going to have built in-house, by the way, okay, manufactured in-house, an unbelievable alcohol-based hand sanitizing program for you, and the best ever safer hand hygiene program for you as well, with the tagline Safe Healthy Hands. So a little bit of a teaser there. Watch for that. We'll be around to talk to our customers about that probably in about the month of October or so, but a 100% in charge of our own destiny program here that you'll really like for sure. Let's talk about public transit. Okay, soon the students are coming back. Soon some of the workforce is coming back. They're slowly coming back. This is going to be one of the areas that is on the mind of commuters. Okay, so how do you rebuild that passenger confidence? Okay, how do you make sure that your airplane is clean, your buses are clean, your subways, your streetcars, your taxi, your Uber, your rideshare? These are all areas, and the biggest priority, my personal belief, is going to be, because of the time of season, and in 30 days, school goes back. Okay, those buses that are on the road, how do you convince mom and dad, that they're clean, they're sanitized, they're disinfected? Okay, making sure the washrooms, if they have washrooms on them and things like that. I mean, these are going to be areas that if you're in the bus industry or you're in the rail industry or the airplane industry or taxis or whatever, these are all areas that you have one shot at rebuilding the passenger confidence. Okay, so we can help you with those. And as always, just going in with a disinfectant and a paper towel doesn't do it anymore, okay? Understanding the 5 critical elements of disinfectant security is paramount. There's 5 of them. I mean, always use a registered product, always dilute it properly, always pre-clean the surface, always respect the dwell time, and always do a potable water rinse on food contact surfaces and where children may be teething or mouthing and things like that. If you don't follow all 5, you are failing. In the world of disinfectant, you either fail or pass, and when we fail, that often creates a lot of future issues with antibiotic-resistant bacteria, with immunities to things, with really supporting and helping the growth of bacteria and viruses, and we cannot afford to do that anymore. So take into account these 5 critical elements. And by the way, for those users of electrostatic sprayers and misters and foggers, they're great tools, by the way, but they have to be used in the exact way that your disinfectant of choice states on the label. That is the absolute law, okay? If you don't pre-clean, if you don't follow any one of those 5 steps, you are failing, and you can't do that, right? Even our pump-up sprayers, I mean, that really, to me, I really prefer, as a matter of fact, our Enviro Solutions pump-up sprayer, okay? So some other areas, some facility focus areas and priorities. If you're a restaurant, you're a food service, if you're the front of the house, the back of the house, if you've got public washrooms, if you've got dumpsters, waste receptacle areas, the bins out back, if you've got a food service takeout area, if you're a ghost kitchen, if you've got offices with communal washrooms and communal cubicles and meeting rooms and boardrooms, if you're grocery and retail, carts and buggies and hand baskets, you talk about an area there. I mean, we keep an eye on the industry without question. It's one of our traits at Charlotte, is really what's happening. Well, let's talk about the truth about cleaning shopping carts. You can see on the right-hand side, we've got a short little blog. It would probably take you about 3 minutes to read. And it really talks about cleaning shopping carts, right? If you're a manager of any sort, supervisor in any retail area where you have grocery carts and things, share this with your staff. Use it at your planning meetings and things like that. Prove to your employees that as a management or supervisor level, you care about them, right? Stop the spread of bacteria and contamination in your buildings. Keep your employees safer. Golf courses, garden centers, customer service areas, all kinds of areas there. So really any facility that's, I guess, open to the public or expects the public to come back is a priority. Our post-coronavirus protection strategy, we had this designed a long time ago. If you look at our webinar, our website, there's lots of marketing materials to assist you and really help you regardless of your facility. So what's our goal here? What are the 4 main elements involved? That is there. Just click on that on the website and it's there. Even if you wanted to have a program checklist that is universal in nature, where you go through the certain week, the certain day, and have your employees check off and things like that. So an SOP is a great thing for you to have and put that into place. Plan that at your strategy meetings and things like that. So with that being said, we're going to switch to our Charlotte Products Training Center. This is our brand new center that we've just opened, and it's about a 3-minute video that'll give you a little bit of information on what it looks like, what it's laid out like. And believe me, we're planning on doing a lot of our virtual seminars or webinars and podcasts and whatever from this particular site. It's actually where we're filming this this webinar right now, and you'll know exactly what I mean in a couple of seconds here. So I'll be back in about 3 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. We hope you enjoyed that video, and as you can see, we're taking training extremely serious. We have your hard floor care rooms, we have your concrete care programs, we have your carpet programs, your food service, your dispensing, all of those things that are available. Even our distributors and customers can book this particular facility for some training, or we can do virtual training on as well, to set it up for those people that aren't close by and whatever. So that being said, our next webinar is September 15th at 11 o'clock EST time. We're going to have Par Ricketts, who's the Vice President of Business Development for Nuance Solutions, with us. And it's really about new fiber cleaning systems and microfiber programs and mopping systems and things. That is all about stopping spreading soils and start spreading knowledge, as opposed exposed to disease and bacteria and viruses, and that is one that's a brand new line of cleaning equipment that will really differentiate and help your cleaning teams actually do better. Okay, so with that being said, I've got Jennifer Meek, who's our Director of Marketing for Charlotte Products Worldwide, and she's going to be with us today, and we're going to talk about the training center and really why it was developed and why we invested in that and the whole work. So she'll give us a little perspective on that. So. Well, good afternoon, Jen. Thanks for joining us today, Wednesday, August the 11th, 2021. And I'd like to introduce everybody to you that those that don't know you. You're our Director of Marketing really worldwide for Charlotte Products there. Thanks for taking the time to join us.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm used to being on the other side of the camera.
That is right, and you normally do a good job of hiding. And you generally bring those questions out, and you don't like to be seen and whatever, but you do a fantastic job, you and your entire team there. So, and you're instrumental behind this whole training center, as a matter of fact, which the people have just seen. It's that sneak peek video that you put together, and it looks great there. So the serious part of today is really, there's rumors about the fourth wave starting. Right. Which is a huge risk and a huge threat, and the vaccinations, you're either vaccinated or you're not, and you really want to be double vaccinated if you listen to science and things, but we're not the masters of it. We just rely on government services and really science to lead us in the right direction. So it is a serious thing, and we've had these webinars going now, since March the 13th of 2020, I believe.
A year and a half already.
Yeah. So some of the questions we're getting really from our own employees and team members really are, we've just opened our new training center in Peterborough and showed some of it today. I guess the first question is, why did we go to that investment? What's the importance behind having this training center? These are coming from our one employee there over in our production facility. Why did we do that? So maybe perhaps you can answer.
Well, it was pretty easy, actually. As you know, Jim, we struggled as soon as COVID hit in trying to communicate and educate our customers, which is our main priority and our passion. It's not enough just to make quality and innovative cleaning products. We actually have to educate our customers and their customers on those products. So we struggled right away with COVID in trying to educate our customers, and we found ways to do it virtually, but we quickly realized that we didn't have the facility access to other buildings or to even some of our own buildings to try and do some of that training and do recordings. So we stepped back and looked at this as an opportunity to grow so that we could better service our customers and also successfully give the education and support that our customers needed during the time in COVID.
Yeah, so really a timely project, a timely addition, the right thing to do, because I run the sales force across North America, and we can't go in some facilities. So how do you continue to train the people on how to lower the risk of an outbreak and whatever it may be, other than virtually, right? We may get back to traveling to some capacity one day, but what I like is we made the investment. It's a 10,000 square foot facility. We do some warehousing and stuff here too, but that 3-bay dish pot and pan program that we've put in, I had you actually do some dishes so you understand what's involved, and particularly it's not just about cleaning the dishes of oils and salad dressing and things like that. It's really validating the PPM, so the parts per million that verify clean, sanitized dishware and things, which is what people are looking for today. We've got another, we've got sponsors that have graciously donated a lot of money and goods and services to our facility. What's their return on investment? Because again, your team headed that up. There's not a lot of shortage, there's money shortage and budgets and things. And what's their return on investment for investing?
Well, it was interesting, Jim, because when we brought this idea to our vendors, they were very receptive, and we have strong partnerships with those vendors, and we're really proud of the relationships that we've built with those vendors. they understand that our passion is education and training. The success of our ability to do that and people to use our products properly and do the right procedures are going to give and yield better results. So for them, they see it as a way of supporting and securing their own investment as a supplier, whether they're supplying raw materials, packaging, our literature printing, our label printing, our dispensers, those types of things. All of those vendors are a critical part to our family and partnership. So we're very thankful to those people because our success as a company and as brand is definitely going to impact their success as well, because we're working together as a group.
Yeah, and I think even our equipment providers and things through some of our distributors actually graciously got involved. I mean, the auto scrubbers we use, the burnishers, the swing machines, and everything else, and so they'll be featured in all of our videos, our training videos, so they get some mileage out of it too. Absolutely. Right? It's just not a one-day thing and away we go. That's and right. I know you've recognized them in the short video that you did as well, which is great. So let the awareness go there. Previously our training videos focused, on site, I guess, with like we did training on site, we did all kinds of things like that, and virtually. Do you plan on expanding topics and things as we move along, certain types of different facilities and things like that? Where do you plan on stopping, or do you?
Well, we feel like we've got a gem here. We feel like we have every opportunity to do whatever training is necessary. And for us, it's not just training our own team. It's always a challenge to get your own sales team and an inside team knowledgeable about your products. But it's, we're able to take distributor teams in here as well as end user teams. And it doesn't really matter what market facility or market segment they're with. We feel like we have an opportunity to train just about everybody here. And definitely expand. We can do things virtually. We can do things in person now, carefully. So we're really excited about the opportunity, and we don't see that there's any end to expanding on what we're doing here, because we're really excited about this.
Yeah, and I think you look behind us, obviously, industry insights and innovative products and programs and the experience and knowledge transfer. I mean, there'll be new industry insights that we have to deal with going forward. I mean, there could be, people are saying COVID-23 or whatever it may be. There'll be a new type of virus or bacteria, and part of our culture is being up to speed on those things, and obviously bringing up the programs and products there. So let me ask you about virtual training. Is it effective?
It's very effective. We've gone to trade shows and seen a lot of our customers, and it's very costly. It's time consuming. It takes you away from your business. I think face-to-face is still very important. And that's why we are happy that we have the ability to invite people here. I think virtually offers a level of in-person. It's just through a camera. And I think we've all gotten used to the virtual meetings and virtual training and things of that nature. So I think it's opened up an opportunity for us to be a little more efficient and a little more effective. Very cost effective as well, because people aren't traveling all over the place. As yourself, you're not traveling. I get to use your knowledge and have access to you and your all your strengths a lot more in the last year and a half, because you're not traveling. So I think there's a very effective, and there's such a benefit to virtual training for sure.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm all about synergies, sales and marketing, and our inside personnel and order desks, and all of anybody who who really deals with a customer or has any kind of communication with them as well. And I've found the synergies between our two departments growing immensely in the last year and a half or so, and probably better. And I know we're going to have our first North American sales meeting here, doing it very responsibly this fall. And I mean, we've got a kitchen actual food service area here. We have our boardroom here. We have, enough room to social distance responsibly. And I mean, we'll be teaching, and actually, I know we've talked about it, but our reps coming in, we'll actually be holding them responsible to put together virtual training sessions on how do I remove that stain in the carpet? How do I refurbish those floors? How do I, all the different topics that we have going. So I'm looking forward to that without question. Can our distributors use this facility? Do they have access to it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's one of the main reasons we started this, was so that our distributors have the confidence to either bring their customers here, or virtually we can set up a meeting with them and their customers or their sales team so that we can train specifically to them. That's one of the biggest things that made us decide to go ahead with this project. And I think that you can tailor a program or a training session to a specific distributor and their customer. You don't get that ability very often. So it's really it's very customized approach to how we can do training now. And absolutely, distributors just have to work with our Charlotte sales representative, and we can put together a suitable time and program and do some training online or in person, whichever they prefer.
Yeah, I know we had a major distributor of ours on the around the Golden Horseshoe area there a couple of weeks ago that actually we did a virtual, their annual sales meeting we did virtually. Then they actually did come, a couple of them actually came to our site afterwards to have an official boardroom meeting and things, and I know that went off without a hitch. And I guess as long as they've got Google or Teams or whatever it is there, and Wi-Fi on their end, they're good on our end,
yeah,
right?
And we can always pre-record something too. If they don't need the interaction, we could always go live for a Q&A session at the end, but if there's something specific they want training on with specific mentions, specific products, we can actually record that ahead of time and play it for the team and then do a live Q&A as well. So there's lots of different ways that we can do it and use the facility to our advantage.
Good. And they could actually get involved and come in and to the recording studio, I guess, if they wanted to, and do a little bit more customized, I guess, training program virtually for their customers too.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any charge involved to the distributors?
No.
No? You haven't got that meeting yet? You haven't decided to do that yet?
We just we're really going with what the need is, and we'll make changes or put different programs in place as needed, and as things become way more in depth. But for the most part, we're happy to get this support and much needed awareness out there.
Yeah, I mean, our drive is to lower the risk of cross-contamination and an outbreak in facilities. So again, anything that any one of our team members can do is great. So, well, it's been an exciting time for sure. I mean, for our finance department and CEO to give us permission to spend a little bit of money and put that together, I mean, that just shows their vested interest in it, knowing that the return on investment is there. I guess so they can come in the recording studio without question. I know in today's day, I mean, obviously sanitizing and disinfecting is key. The 5 critical elements of floor care are key. I mean, the floors being the #1 reservoir, and really floor care, the better the floor care program, the less absorption of bacteria and viruses and spread and things like that. Can you teach all 5 elements of floor care here, and disinfectant security? Can we teach all that?
Absolutely, and the 4 elements of carpet care, soft floor care as well. And that's the beauty of it, is that we have the ability to do whatever training is necessary and go through all of the steps of the programs that we've put together.
Yeah, great. I mean, I know we've even gone as detailed as an above floor grease trap. I mean, where do you get the time to go in a facility now that could be busy or shut down or whatever and actually open the grease trap and watch people become ill because it's a fairly putrid, as a matter of fact. But I mean, we have that here where we can actually teach people how to do that,
right.
Which is absolutely amazing. So can we host larger meetings here, for instance? How many can we take, do you think, the capacity?
Well, within guidelines of what's going on in the province at the moment or at the time, we could easily do up to 25 people at once, or less, whatever we need. And we have a whole warehouse that, we have this great warehouse training opportunity, but that also lends space for us to have large groups and set up an actual training tables and things like that, and doing various rooms at different times and splitting the groups up, things like that. So, we've done a lot of training in the past. We've just had to go outside and organize a facility, organize bringing all of the equipment and the tools and the resources. We're very fortunate to have everything that we need here. All we need is our distributors and their customers to come on site and book something in, and we can happily take you through the training.
Yeah, and do they coordinate that with you directly, or should they go through me or both of us? Any combination of both of us, I guess they would go through?
Whatever they're comfortable with. I mean, if they're dealing with you regularly, if they're comfortable calling me, that's
I'm going to
fine.
name them to you anyway.
We're gonna, most likely. But our sales team is really excited about this as well. So it'll be a nice opportunity to connect and bring all of the players in and make sure that we have it set up and customized specifically for that particular customer.
Yeah, that's perfect. And I know we have some of our sponsoring vendors coming in to do some YouTube training. The middle of September, I know we're going to have Lavo in with their dispenser technology. We have some interesting, as you know, some interesting technology developments there. I know New Fiber's coming in, and we're going to talk about how to stop the spread of soils and viruses and bacteria and things. So it'll be nice to be actually filmed right in here, and that's terrific. So I think I'm just looking at the clock here, and we're out of time as usual because it doesn't go. Time just flies when you're doing it. But then anyway, on behalf of all of us, thank you very much for joining us today. It's great to have some real feedback on what we're doing. And again, one more example of really how Charlotte can help our customers and facilities lower the risk of an outbreak and be a little bit more educated. So Jen, once again, thank you to you and your team, and stay safe, and we'll talk soon. Next time you'll be back. So everybody who's watching the webinar, you know what she looks like actually in front of the camera.
Oh, lucky you.
And things there. So you'll be back behind the camera for the next session. But again, once again, thank you and stay safe.
Thank you.